Hey. I just realized that my screen was up. And I was like, oh, got to take that down. I forgot. I've been running around. So sorry to be on a little bit late, but I'm trying to be consistent, people. I'm just lighting my Palo Santos incense because I feel like the energy is just crazy all over the place. I don't know if you guys noticed that with the retrograde, you know. And let's do a retrograde reading, because I don't know if you guys know, but when a person has spiritual blocks, shadows, retrograde tends to be 1,000 times worse. Why? Because your spiritual blocks create a lot of emotional turbulence, right? And so what tends to get affected during retrograde is electronics, miscommunication, all those things. When does that normally happen? It also happens when a person is spiritually blocked. So the combination of the two makes it worse. You'll notice. You'll be like, other people go through retrograde and it's not really that bad. I go through retrograde and any little problem is like that could happen, does happen. And the reason why, like I said, is because you're an energy being. Your thoughts and your emotions are what create your energy. And so if you have a spiritual block, it means that you're stuck in a limited perception about yourself or the situation that creates a lot of emotion, especially if that limited perception is one that's going to keep you in a place of lack, limitation, disempowerment, in a place of fear. So your only two energies, love and fear. So, hey, Omira and Bonnie, and was Shayla on? Shayla was on a little bit before. I mean, somebody was saying hi to Shayla. All right. So I always like to do retrograde readings because that's always when the karmic comes back. That's why. It never fails. And why is that? Because again, they're spiritually blocked. The karmic doesn't mean that they don't have feelings. It means that they're holding a cognitive dissonance. I like you, but I don't like you. I want the relationship, but I need for the relationship to be on this term, on which is usually a term that's going to elevate them. But again, it's blocked. So they have a lot of emotional energy about it too. So I believe that, again, it's the combination of how the planets align, what goes on an energetic level during retrograde that makes people more emotionally, subconsciously, which is why the karmics always tend to come back during retrograde. Well, that's what karmics are. Karmic relationships are all about that. It's one-sided relationship. Now, a lot of times we may see that the one-sided relationship is, again, because the person's selfish, when meanwhile they might just have a lot of spiritual blocks. And now you might be like, either way, it's the same. Well, the difference is if a person is blocked and they don't want to be blocked, and you create a new awareness for them, and you show them a different way, you shape shift the energy. Remember, karma means learn. We tend to associate it with pain. We tend to associate it with only bad. And that's because we continue to do the same things, deal with the person the same exact way, have the same habits and behaviorisms created from those core beliefs, created from what that person has shown us. So again, problem is when a person has spiritual blocks, they create facades and wear masks. So they're not really coming from their true self. They're coming from the mask. So this is why once you change you change the dynamic of the relationship. All right. So the underlying energy is lies and illusions. So I feel like someone's coming back into your life and they're going to pretend that life is different now, that they're different. And it's like, I feel like they have feelings. I don't feel that this person's life is different though. I don't feel like this person has done work on themselves. I feel as if they've been watching you from a distance and they've noticed that you've changed. So they don't really know how to approach you. So they're going to create the illusion that they've changed also, because they don't like the fact that they feel like you're moving away from them. They clearly haven't been giving you anything and you haven't given them anything. So they know that they haven't fed the relationship. So you'd eventually be by. This person feels you slipping away. They don't want to have it to be a missed opportunity. So I feel like they're creating illusions. And those illusions are that they're a completely different changed person, that they're ready for a commitment. They realize how important that you are. And it's not that they didn't know that you were important the whole time. It's just that they don't have their shit together. Nothing's changed in their life. The only thing that's changed is that they see that, you're a good catch. I feel like at one point that this person was really in their ego, they could say, well, no big deal. Like, your life isn't that great. But the thing is, the more that you're away from them, the more that they stalk and the more that they're like, see that your life is happening, that you're doing things that you may not be happy doing it. You'd be like, yeah, I'm going through the motions, but I'm not happy. But this person doesn't know that. This person's coming from a low vibration. So they know what they do. They're not stupid. They're either going to deal with a person that comes running back, which you did not, or someone that's going to go on and move on with their life. And that would have been fine as long as your life looks like shit, worse than they could justify. But your life looks too good. So I feel like maybe some of you guys are traveling. You guys are just doing things out of the norm. And this makes this person think, well, maybe your life isn't bad. Who are you going to visit? What's happening in your life? Again, and you might be like, I'm not going to visit anybody. But remember, a person that cheats thinks that you cheat. A person that goes out of town and hooks up with people thinks that everybody does that, because they deal with people that do that. Because people that know who this person is, believe me, they have relationships that are just convenient. They're just based on that. In for a booty call, I'm out of town. Let's have a good time. They might not say let's have a booty call, but I'm in for a good time, not for a long time. They know. So when you were dealing with this person, let's see what was going on. Martyr. It's like, I feel like this person assumed, and you might be one of those healers, those wounded healers at one point, someone that gave too much of your energy. So I feel like this person just comes in like handicapped. I always call it like emotionally handicapped, where they're like, I can't be in a relationship because I'm so hurt from the previous relationship. Or I can't really be in a relationship because I'm not fully out of the last relationship, but it's not my fault. It's everybody else's fault. So you were dealing with someone that was a martyr, someone that was sacrificing a lot for other people, but not because they wanted to, because they had responsibility. And I feel like they were shaping it so that, hoping that you would give them more, so that you would be a martyr, so that you would sacrifice too much of yourself. And if you're a wounded healer, then this is something that you're used to doing. You're used to being that person that's like, well, I'll just sacrifice myself. It doesn't matter if I don't have a relationship the kind that I want. But as long as we're in a relationship where you keep settling for less and less and less and less, because a person comes in and they're coming in not with the right intention. They're coming in wanting the relationship to be one-sided, for them to be serviced, but not for them to have to do anything. And then when you call them out on it, I feel like this person pretends to be arrogant, very self-righteous. But that's the thing. When a person has a low self-esteem, what do? They overcompensate. and they are self-righteous in order to give the illusion that they don't care, the illusion that there's something wrong with you, the illusion that you're asking for too much. But the whole time you should be knowing, I'm not asking for too much. You can feel that I'm not asking for too much. Again, this is the way that this person is trying to create the illusion that they don't really care that much, but they do care. So they're not emotionally intelligent. And that's something really annoying, because it's just going to create a lot, like, where you're angry all the time, because you're going to feel like you get breadcrumbed. You feel like this person's not being transparent. You don't know whether or not, are you talking to other people? Like, because you're not being transparent with me. You're not open with me. I'm trying to tell you how I'm feeling. Well, again, this person can't deal with hearing any type of criticism. Remember, anyone that acts self-righteous, they want to give off the illusion that they don't really, like, they don't need to be subservient, where relationships about give and take, reciprocity. This person, like I said, when they get into a relationship, I feel like if they really, really, really care, at one point they gave too much, and the relationship didn't work out. And from that point on, they were like, I'm never going to get hurt again. And I'm not saying that it's right. It's not. It's almost like this person never healed from that relationship. So they make every single person pay for the bad relationship, and they never learn anything. They just bring the bad into every single relationship, like I said. By being, like, inconsistent, I'm never gonna let you get comfortable. We're gonna have one foot in, one foot out. And so remember, people know how much you care by how much you put up with. So I feel like this person was trying to train you, and they were trying to train you by never really giving that much to begin with. And by, again, being inconsistent, so not letting you feel safe. But it's like you're like, no, clearly how much you're getting. I feel like this person promised a lot and then didn't deliver. And they were that moody. They're just moody. And that's the thing. When a person's spiritually out of balance, is that they're never coming from their true self. It means that they're always coming from their ego. They're always strategizing. They're not emotionally intelligent. This person to create lies and illusions about their life, when meanwhile on the side, they're talking to other people and they're not consistent with you. So, of course, they're going to have dark moods, because you can't keep up with the lies when you're talking to people. And eventually, people want the relationship to grow. They're going to ask questions. So it's almost like this person, in the fact that they don't want to build any type of real emotional connection with anyone, because when you're inconsistent, you're not. You create major trust issues when that happens. And so what happens is other people that they're toying with get on them, and that's why this person's in, like, bad mood all the time, and just has a lot of depression and anxiety. They're never coming from the true self, the higher self, a place of love. They're always strategizing. They never get good results either. So what you see here is a lot of anxiety and depression. Anxiety because this person's always worried about what's going to happen. But I feel like they're actually addicted to that. And that's the thing. When a person's gone through a lot of trauma, they literally get, like, adrenal, like it secretes cortisol and different hormones. And when you doing that often to yourself, because you're reckless, you're talking to multiple people, you can't remember your lies, you're not you're creating lies and illusions about just your life to make yourself appear a certain way. So you're never letting anyone get close to you. You're just having these surface relationships. This is what really makes people emotionally, mentally, and spiritually out of balance, because there's not growing themselves and becoming anyone. All they're doing is having surface relationships and living from their addictions. So it of course would create dark moods, especially if you're like, I don't know who I'm dating. I don't know who you are. It's like I feel like you're very surface, so it's just a lot of emotion, of negativity. That is what actually creates a trauma bond over time, which is all about betrayal. Because this person has abandonment issues, but all they do is abandon, and you feel like rejected, mainly because this person is coming in and out and they're disposing of you. They're not taking putting value to the relationship. They're inconsistent. They want you to overgive to the point where you're actually like almost like a martyr trying to save the relationship. And I feel like people tend to do that because it feeds their ego. It makes them feel very important. And that's the thing. It's like this person's spiritually imbalanced, and when person's spiritually imbalanced, they don't feel good. A root chakra, we know, imbalance is right where that first adrenal gland is, where that first endocrine gland is, which is the adrenals. So this person's always strategizing. They're always in survival mode. So when you're around them, because they're so inconsistent, like you don't know what's going on. Are you talking to somebody now? Every time you go to the bathroom, you bringing your phone, you're talking to somebody. What's like, because I know that I'm not getting anything. So it creates, like you could see, it creates that toxic, bond, where like it's held together with all these like mixed emotions, but really the adrenals. You wind up in burnout with a person like this. You wind up actually feeling tired and lethargic because you're always in survival mode. So even though this person is inconsistent and they have abandonment issues and they have lies, they lie. It's like we want to know, well, why the hell are you with this person anyway then? What's the whole point? But it's like what we see here is the behaviorisms. Their real core beliefs usually are not in alignment with their behaviorisms. That's what a psychological reversal is. Psychological reversal is I like this person. So, and then the psychological reversal is, what can I do to sabotage this relationship? Like completely ruin the relationship, and in the process have it destroy my self-esteem about myself. To make my self-fulfilling prophecy of believing that I'm not lovable really come true. That's usually what the psychological reversal in relationships are all about, which happen because of trauma. So this same divine energy flows in each of us. This energy is a catalyst to our reunion. We just need to allow this energy to work its magic. So I feel like it's a soul relationship, and yes, a soul relationship is divine energy. Hey, I recognize you. You feel spiritual, like you feel like home. The two people that have it. However, it doesn't mean that you'll wind up with this person. It's like if you wind up back together, the reunion, it's to learn. And I say that because this person is not on your vibration. Now, does that mean that they know all about vibration? No. Their thing is, I feel that you're a soulmate. I feel that, and I feel like you're mad, and I feel like you're mad because of what I've done. However, I still know that you have feelings for me. So I kind of feel like time will make this situation like not be where you hate me anymore. Well, maybe you'll forget because of all the time that you've invested, because of your real feelings. You don't really want to be mad with me. So it's almost like this person doesn't want to believe that they ruined the connection, is what I take of this. When people say, well, they don't know what to do, so they're going to put it in the divine hand. But understand, the divine doesn't work that way. The divine is bringing you into this person's life and vice versa to awaken certain wounds, because that's the only reason why the divine brings anyone into anyone's life, because we all have free will who we choose to be with. The divine does not care who we are with. The divine cares that we evolve back into a place of unconditional love, though. And if it's gonna be toxic, then, which by the way it was, because this person wouldn't let you be safe. They were 1 foot in, 1 foot out, talking to a million people. Again, now all of a sudden they see movement on your end, and they're jealous. So they're completely one-sided. So they're a little delusional. So just because we see this doesn't mean that it's going to work that much magic. It's like this person, like, it's going to be all fixed after the person destroyed the relationship. And sometimes it does happen. But this person's used to people on a lower vibration, if that's the case. Because people that are on a higher vibration don't just say, oh, yeah, that's okay that you shit all over me. They don't do that. Not without consequence. Anyway. My heart is opening to love and guiding me back to you. This is this person, what this person feels like. And I don't want to sound like a pessimist, but I feel like this person that you've been dealing with has come into your life, and there's a soul connection, and you treat them like home, and they love to hang out with you. However, do they want that married, monogamous life right this minute? No, I don't feel that. So I feel like what happens is they stray and they hang out with whoever, and then they come back. And what they say is like, oh, we're really meant to be together. That those people don't mean anything. That's just, it's almost like, that's like it just went out and bought another pair of pants. Like, it's like almost like it doesn't mean you're my favorite pair of jeans, but these pants are that they don't mean anything to me. It's almost like they want to downplay what they do, because they're like, I always come back to you. You're like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that I haven't been giving you anything, and the prize is just that I'm coming back to you. And that's why I'm saying they have a very elevated ego, because again, they don't offer much to people. Remember, they're bouncing in and out of your life. Well, they're not really having meaningful relationships. They actually think that they have a meaningful relationship with you because they're able to return to you. Because you're like, oh, well, you always take me back. And yeah, you're mad right now, but you still have feelings. So, time, because we have that type of relationship where it's a little, like I said, delusional. It's like, just because you're my soulmate, and like, does not mean like that, oh, we're meant to be, because I have free will, and this person doesn't think that you're going to exercise your free will, because this has been going on and back and forth. So you might be like, well, I was just friends with this person, or I tried to handle them this way, or I tried to handle them that way, where I gave them a lot of energy, or we were dating, and then I demoted this person where we were just friends, and then I demoted them again where we were just acquaintances. It doesn't matter. Spirit says, it doesn't matter. This person knows you care that much that you didn't kick them out of their life, and that you stay angry with them. Well, that's how much you care. It's like, you care. You want them to be different. They know that. It's not like they don't know. It's the fact that they've been getting away with it. That's the issue. So it's like, it's not like they don't have feelings. Almost feel like they're shocked that every time they come back to you. Almost like, can I destroy the relationship now? Oh, look, it's still working. You still have feelings. Let me, it's almost like, will you love me today will you love me tomorrow just because you love me today? This person is continuously doing this, and like through their actions and their behaviors. So it's not like they don't have feelings. They're going to bounce back and forth. I wish I could say what I really feel. Someday I will, but right now I'm afraid to be myself. I feel like this person doesn't even know who they are. It's like without being in a relationship. If you're so busy creating lies and illusions and spending your time with surface relationships, and you're not taking the time to actually be intimate and transparent. And when I say intimate, that means transparent with your partner, where you can communicate, where you're in a balanced relationship. This person does not know who they are. They spend too much time creating facades and being run by their addictive behavior of, again, yes, being with a lot of different people. That's addictive behavior. It makes this person feel good about themselves. It's, again, they release serotonin because they're always in survival mode. And when you're always in survival mode and you have adrenal fatigue, you're tired. So then you unconsciously have addictive behavior to counteract that to balance out that energy. Like I said, this person is spiritually out of balance, so their equilibrium is off. They're up in their head. They're not coming from their heart. You can't come always from just your head. Survival mode, strategic. That means that you're not real. And that we don't deal with people through being strategizing. We're not supposed to. Every single relationship is not a business transaction to do that with. Hey, cat and wild child. This journey is teaching us one of the most important spiritual lessons, which is patience. And I feel like this person could come back today, but I feel like they're waiting for some divine moment. And I feel like that's how people sabotage themselves. It's like, why are you waiting for the divine moment? They're really waiting for a divine moment. What's going on in this person's life that they're waiting back? Again, they're being guided back to you, but I feel like it's more internal workings. Like there's a realization, but I'm not feeling like this is the first time they've had this realization. I feel like they keep doing things to be like, oh, you're really my person. Okay, well, that's great. And then they try to come back and give you exactly what they left with, which was not much. And then, you don't accept it. And then they go off and do the same thing. And then they come back and they try to do the same thing. And then they go back. So they never change. They keep putting the square peg into the circle hole and not getting results. So this is why you're like at the place where you're like, I'm over it. I'm over it because I don't trust you. You never come through. So why that not uncommon for people to be like, oh, is it over? Now I really love you. Why? Because they have abandonment issues, as I said. So it's like, oh, now you're not interested. So you can't have that. Can't have you walk away from me because I have abandonment issues. And that's what, exposed me. Part of the reason why I'm inconsistent is because I have abandonment issues. I have commitment issues, but I also have abandonment issues. So, well, because it's like they don't want it to stop, that your relationship to with them to stop. And that's really what it is. It's like they haven't fed this connection in a long time. They haven't done anything. So they can feel like you're like, I'm over this. It's like you don't follow through, and I'm like pretty much know what you're gonna do. It's ridiculous. So it's almost like they want to like almost like provoke you to do something. They want to almost. I feel like this person wants you to either get mad, where you're gonna like it says here, like right, like aggressive, ignite, simulate, provoke, volatile situation. So almost like start a fight where again it says hot, so that you'll either fight with them, so they justify to be like, well, you're not going to be in my life, so it doesn't matter because look, you're crazy, and I'm just coming back to you, and I'm trying to be nice, and even though they don't want to acknowledge any of the bullshit that they did to get you to this place, they just want to come back and they want to focus on the reaction. So be careful, because this person is not like they're very emotionally intelligent, and you're not talking to them. You cut off their supply. They know that you're ready to let go. They don't want you to let go. So there's a sense of wanting to provoke you to either get angry or just to have a conversation. They're like, either we're going to talk and the relationship might be able to repair itself. Maybe we can let, like, again, downplay it. But if you come at me seriously and you want to talk about, this, which they don't want to, then they know that they're going to start a fight with you. It's going to trigger a fight with you. So they said, well, either way, you're going to start talking to me and I can make my decision there. So this person's a coward. It's like they're not looking to change. They will say that they're looking to change, but this person likes having you in their life. They like having you in, and I feel like they're a fake twin. Yeah, they're gonna come to you and they're gonna offer you friendship, like a relationship, because they know that they can't really offer you like you can't go back to where it was because you don't trust them. But they're gonna come to you and say that. And I also feel like they've been watching you on social media to get an idea to see whether you're dating someone. Those of you that are on social media, others of you, if you have friends, mutual friends, they've been trying to sort to get information. Have you moved on? Like, they don't know because they haven't been around you. You're not giving them anything, which is why, again, they want to come back into your life, but they don't want to come back into your life again being transparent, that's why I said this person has not changed, because they should be coming back, surrendering their ego if they want to be different. They don't. Instead, they're like, I'm going to come back and I'm going to be able to play this game, strategize to see where you are. So either you're going to, again, if you're happy to see me, you're going to talk and you're going to let everything go. And then, or you're going to act mad. But either way, I'm not going to look stupid. So this person really cares a lot about what they look like. They strategize. And they don't like how things are because you walked away because they were like inconsistent. They weren't giving you. And the thing is, it's like this person has a lot of like sexual attraction to you. They're a very sexual person. And there's a very strong spiritual connection, which I don't think that this person is a spiritual person. Okay. I think that they're an ego person. But the thing is, with spiritual energy, that, hey, there's a connection, there's a lot of emotion that, which is what holds that spiritual connection together. There is attraction, there is passion. No one would stay around long enough to learn the damn spiritual lesson, right? If you're dealing with somebody that's ugly, that you'd be like, your face stops the clock. I don't have to stick around for this shitty lesson because you're ugly. You know what I mean? It's the point is, it's like we're attracted to the person. It's like, and that there is this um, connection. So this person really, like I said, wants to like almost create like a love affair. Like there's, I'm not would lie to say that there wasn't, like, again, this is what they want. Because you're like, why are they coming back? What for? Like, and you want to start a fight with me? Why? Like, either way, because there's passion there, which is, again, if you start a fight with me, again, if I start a fight with you and there's passion there, they're going to be able to tell. They're going to be able to read you, because you're not going to stick to why you're angry. You'll laugh. You'll, again, make light of the situation. They've been in separation with you for a while. They can't read you. They can't see anything. If they've been on your social media, I'm going to choke. They've talked to people. They've tried to feel out the situation. Don't mind Dominic. I forgot to put my screen up. So, like I said, there's a sense that they want to find out, but they don't want to look stupid. So they're gonna come in and try and like read you. It's so stupid. It's like, you know what I mean? It's such a cowardly thing to do. But again, this person doesn't have good results in their relationship. Now, you might see them as a player, but there's a reason why they're a player. Like I said, they've had to eat a lot of karma, darling. It's, again, they've had to eat a lot of karma. And so I feel like there's a part of this person that like doesn't want to deal with the consequences. They don't want to see this as a missed opportunity. They see this as a spiritual connection, and they might not even know what a spiritual connection is. But again, there's a lot of passion there. So they're like, I wouldn't be affected by you. It's like, I'm the player. I don't give that much attention to anybody. So why would I care about you? And I actually want to be your friend. I want to be your friend. Yeah, because it's like they want to be in your life. And they know that they can't just come back into your life because there's karma to be paid. And this person doesn't like that because there's a lot of passion there. So they're like, well, it's like, I want to see whether or not you still have feelings, and I can't read off you. Like, if they've actually reached out to you, they've given so little that whatever they've given, you've given like just this little. So they're like frustrated because they're like, they can't read it, and they're not getting the answers. And this person does not want to surrender their ego. It's almost like they're afraid they're going to melt. Yeah, they just almost feel like they're going to find out, like, at this point, this is the final chapter. This is like right now, it's like they're like, I cannot, like, I need to know what the final results are. I cannot stay in this energy. It's like you guys have been in a Mexican standstill where you're like, okay, you're gonna move your little like pawn. Well, I'm gonna move my pawn. I'm not gonna do anything more, anything less. I'm not gonna do anything. And eventually, you're not even playing that game. You just detached altogether because you're like, I'm not even doing this. So this person is trying to be like, can I approach you? Are you still interested in me? Do I have a chance? Do I not have a chance? Did I blow it completely? And they're like, I still have passion, obviously. Otherwise, they wouldn't be like trying to figure out how to get back. But they don't want this to be a missed opportunity, but they can't stay in this space anymore. So they're like, that's why I said, I feel like they're going to rush in. They don't know how they're coming back. They don't know when they're coming back. But it's almost like the weight of you is bothering them. and it's bothering them because you were like didn't take it. There's a sense like you were like, I'm not dealing with your bullshit, and you left, so you triggered their abandonment on top of it. So they have abandonment issues. But then you also showed them that you're a real person. This person has major trust issues, and they know. Then they're given such a little bit of breadcrumb, that the people that go along with it are not really trustworthy, that are eventually going to try and make the relationship into what they want the relationship to be. And that you were like, nah, I'm not going to do that. You're inconsistent. You already showed me who you are. I'm not going to chase you. I'm not going to, say I said something once. You were self-righteous with me. You acted like an asshole. I'm not doing that. Joker card. I feel like chameleon card. Like this person would normally want to like copy whatever energy that they were seeing, like mirror back, but they're not getting anything. You're not giving them anything. Yeah, they're trying to, they're trying to acquire knowledge. Again, if I figure out like this secret, okay, knowledge, trying to learn to see like what is going on. I feel like this relationship has made them learn, made them look at themselves. I don't feel like many people put them in this situation, or I shouldn't say people haven't put them in this situation. They normally don't care. They normally don't have like hot feelings for someone that pisses them off, that that where they normally have commitment issues. So it's a very awkward space for this person because they're not emotionally intelligent either. Remember, they would rather start an argument with you to figure out whether you care about them or not. They don't want to come back in the right way, come in correct, God forbid. Instead, they're going to be like, well, I'm going to feel out the situation. And either way, I'll get what I want. Because at this point, I need this to end. I can't stay in this limbo space. I feel like this person has thought about this connection with you for a long time. You've been in separation from this person for a long time. They've been ruminating about it for a long time, just over and over and over. So again, they have a spiritual block. They get in their own way. They waste a lot of time. I feel like they were holding back, hoping that you would actually contact them. Even though, why would you contact a person that didn't treat you well? Well, again, because low vibe people do. And then this person, he or she could have weeded you out. Again, because, hey, you would have caved and then you wouldn't have been a person that was on a high enough vibration for them anyway. But they have these feelings for you and you're not doing anything. And they're like, I don't like being in this space, because they know, hey, schmuckola, it means it's your turn to do something. And they're like, well, what's my biggest thing that I could do? Let me start an argument. Let me come in here and try and fuck up your energy and then I'll be able to intuit it out. Like, what are you doing? What do you feel about me from there? Which is, again, they're not smart. They have spiritual blocks. Everything that they perceive is through the wound. Everything that they hear is through the wound. So I don't really feel like it's going to go that well, because it's, again, this person, just the way that they're trying to maneuver so that they don't have to show their hands. It's stupid. But they want the love and the romance. They want the affection. That's what the problem is. It's like I said, this person is attracted. It's like, but I have feelings for you. So again, the more time that this person is away from you, I feel like they compare. They tried to replace you. They can't. They tried. And so then it got to the point that they tried not to think about you. Then the more that they tried not to think about you, the more that they thought about you. So this person, like I said, is really uncomfortable. They just they're like, I need this to be the final chapter. Like, I need to know one way or the other. Are we going to move forward, or are we going to end this shit? Because whatever this is, I can't deal with it. And it's mainly because you're like not playing their game, Like they would just love it if you would like act like a crazy person so they could just be like, see, I knew it. I knew it. See, that's why I'm not with you. See, because you're crazy, but you're not doing that. It's again, because you're their soulmate. And they're like, oh, but that's the problem. It's like, I'm attracted. And the problem is this person has a problem displaying the affection. And really, if they're going to make this work, they know that they have to court you. They have to put the effort in. And that's really what it is. They know this, okay? They know that it would have to be long term. Like you're not just gonna, that this person would have to come in and give 100%. The problem is this person keeps trying to come in and like do things half-assed. Like they're not coming in and saying, hey, like this is really how I feel. It's again, instead they're gonna create an argument and hopefully you're gonna say how much you care. And then which is so retarded. And it's not even a retard like acts better than this. They know more than this. They have a bigger heart than this. This is asinine. It's like there isn't even a word for this. Okay, this is like a handicapped, like a person that's like a mentally challenged, like handicapped person that is gonna think so ass backwards. They're gonna sabotage the relationship. That's what this is. It's like because they're so like on guard. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like they're tired. They're tired about thinking about it. They know that it's overdue, that they should have said something a long time ago. And they're stuck in the past. Literally, they're stuck in the past. And it's like at this point, they're uncomfortable. So we feel like they're going to be rushing in soon. We don't know when. They don't know when. And I'm going to tell you why. Because they're a coward. So they're going to have to like build themselves up. And I feel like what's going to happen is just one day they're going to wake up and they're not going to be able to take it anymore. Because like I said, the more that they try not to think about you, the more that they think about you. So they don't want to continue to ruminate on this. They don't want to continue to feel bad about it. They want to just either we're going to pick it up and we're going to move forward, or you're not going to want to and you're going to be still pissed off about whatever I did and we're not going to be able to move forward. But either way, I'm going to be able to move forward. I don't want the karma. I feel like we're destined to be together. They feel like you're destined to be together, okay? They feel like it's a divine connection. I actually feel like divine intervention does come into play, because I do feel like there's a part of you that's been ignored, like trying to avoid this person, not deal with them because they gave so much mixed messages, and this person definitely avoided you. And now that they're trying to give a little bit of something, you're like, this is not enough. Like this is bullshit. Like you're giving like because they're trying to be safe and they're not being transparent. So you're like, fuck this. I'm not giving anything. And now I almost feel like, and I do kind of feel like it is a spiritual connection, because this person is completely stuck in the past. But bottom line is they're thinking about it and they can't stop thinking about it. And how do you manifest? Through the thoughts that you think and your emotions that you have. So it's almost like this person is unconsciously manifesting you back. And I feel like you're like, I really don't want to fucking deal with you. I really wish that you wouldn't think about me because you were an asshole. And it's almost like just easier if you would just go away. But this being like sitting right here in the middle line, not doing anything, is also bothering you, where you're like where spirit's like staying stuck is not working for either one of you, because you're still kind of holding on to, like, even if you're like, no, I'm just waiting for an apology. I'm just waiting for an explanation. I'm just waiting. Spirit says, but you wouldn't if there wasn't still feelings. You wouldn't want to know. And even if it was just for that, at this point, you both have held on to this connection for too long. So I feel like the divine gets involved. So I feel like you're going to run into this person and you're going to be like, fuck, I don't want to really see this person, because you're going to be over it. You're going to be like, I'm over it. I'm starting my new life. Everything is great. And bam, here's this person. And you're going to be like, what the fuck? Like, and it's because Spirit's saying, because it could be their justice for you, blind justice for you, meaning this person didn't treat you right. You have the opportunity to say, no, thank you for your apology, but no, thank you. I don't want to be with you. Like you already ruined the connection. That allows you to get your peace, or you're able to talk things out and find balance and find that friendship. If you want to rekindle, it's all the cards are in your hands, because this person wants you back. They just don't want to show vulnerability. They don't want to be rejected. They want to slam dunk. They want to know that it's a sure thing. That's why they're stalking you out, trying to figure out, play detective. But it's that. It's because they're stuck in the past, because they know how they treated you as bad. And it's mainly because, again, we saw all through this reading, it's like they have feelings, emotional, passionate feelings for you, which I feel like scares this person. It's like they're not used to it. Yeah, they feel like you're sealed off, like you're acting like you don't care, but they're determined. They're determined. They're gonna do what it takes. Okay, they're gonna do what it takes. It's like, and it's almost because of their abandonment issue also. So I feel like it's a combination of a lot of things, where this person abandoned themselves right from the get-go because they never gave to this connection. They played too many games. You called their bluff. You were tired of the inconsistency, the lies, the illusions. It's their karma. And possibly because you're like, I know you still have feelings for me too. So I'm not going to play this game. So this person is they're stubborn, but they're right now they're very prosperous. I feel like they're making their money. But I do feel that this person's going to come back, and they're going to come back and they're going to offer something. And I feel like part of them is coming back almost like as an emperor. And I say that because they're coming back grounded, ready to nurture, and really prosperous. Now, does that mean that they're going to stay consistent? If they haven't done shadow work, a lot of times, like, it depends on how you hold yourself. I feel like because you didn't put up with this shit, you walked away from them. And that's what really made this person like see, to be like, okay, like, do I really have feelings for this person? And what they see is that they still have feelings for you. So, like, I just feel like you held your ground, so you would still have to hold your ground. A lot of people make the mistake of, once they get together with a person that changes their behavior, then they want to relax, and they want to, be just casual, and assume that that person that they're with is going to treat them with the same respect that they demand and want. But this person's a creature of habit. I'm telling you right now. They were used to navigating their life by being inconsistent, having people give too much of their power, being very strategic. You made them move into their heart, not because you even knew that this person's very attracted to you. Did they go and try out other merchandise? Yes, they did. They think it's true love because they keep coming back to you. And now they realize you're not taking them back. So it's like, not only like, it's almost like I have this realization that you're my person, but now you're not taking me back. So that's an extra boom boom, because it's like now you triggered their like abandonment. So of course they're going to do whatever it takes. Remember, the fight a lot of times is better than the actual prize. When people, again, like, it's about winning, it's about this person's ego. Remember, right now, what's driving the bus? Passion, romance. That's what's on this person's brain. And the fact that, they don't want to lose the opportunity, but it's the attraction that's doing it. And I say it because, like I said, we see a lot of times people that have shit behavior and they want to come back, but now there's trust issues. So why would there be trust issues? Well, because they're going to do it again. Well, what would make that person do it again is exactly what I told you, that all of a sudden you just don't hold to your boundaries anymore. And eventually what happens is people get into a rut. They want to relax in their relationships. They don't want to be on guard. They don't want to have to continually train someone. Yeah, like otherwise, like I said, otherwise this person will like eventually cheat, eventually stray, because I feel humiliation, dishonor, and that's what I felt. So it's not that this person doesn't have feelings for you, but they haven't given it, the relationship, the time. They haven't built the emotional connection. Where have they been? They've been inconsistent. So yes, they have feelings and attraction, but it's mainly fantasy realm. What you can be, what you can do, but have they been consistent? No. So the dishonor is that, and the fact that you made them come back and change. There would be a little bit of resentment towards it. So, like, that's what a karmic relationship is. Karmic relationship is, well, I thought that they changed. Well, there's still attraction there, there's still passion there, but you would have to be consistent. Yeah, because it's almost like that you don't want to get caught up in the fairy tale. There is no fairy tale. This person's a soulmate. They, again, past life, karmic mate, twin flame, all these soulmate relationships have the power to go either way. This person has already showed you that they're capable. The big fear is that they would dishonor you. And like I said, that they would do that because you would be stuck in the fairy tale of what you wanted the connection to be, and not really being grounded in the relationship, and still, again, setting those boundaries. Now, that's not what this person has in mind. So I look to, but I always have to, as a healer, I have to tell you what is the karmic thing that could happen. But this person doesn't wants to celebrate. They want to, they're actually happy to be in a relationship. You feel like home to this person. And I feel like they're going to be coming back around and more in a ready for a serious relationship around the time of your birthday. That's what it shows here. Okay. And they want a new beginning. That's what it says here. And I've been getting a lot of that. So what to be careful about is, like I said, you're going to have to hold your boundary with this person, because of, not because of that you want to, but because people are creatures of habit. And we always have to say, you're planning a divorce party. So let me see. We're going to see why you attracted this person into your life. You're a mirror of whom, what comes into your life, right? So you want to know Why would you attract all that? Well, the person wants to come back into your life. It's not like they don't want to come back into your life. And it's also not like they don't have good intention. But like you said, people are creatures of habit, and they were the way that they were in the beginning, which again, we pulled cleansing. That's actually positive. That's a positive one. These are your inner child wounds, that will either expose your wounds or your gifts, right? So cleansing was the first one. Magic, second one. Gifts, third one. We're exposing a lot of very positive things here. That's good because this person was a jerk. So it's like, what for? Well, Spirit says, well, it uncovered a lot of stuff for you because you didn't fall prey to this. This person wasn't giving you, and you were not playing along with it. Belittled. So that's the one that's not so positive, and disassociated. All right. So we do see some traumas. Trauma of disassociation happens when emotionally, psychologically, there's trauma and we don't feel safe. And that happens if we were belittled by a parent, if we were made to feel like, bad about ourselves, beaten down. And I kind of feel like this is how this person first approached you, right? But you didn't go along with it. You, again, did what you did in childhood, because, again, disassociation could happen also if you watched your parents go through trauma. And then, it's not all the time it's watching, almost like watching yourself, and not remembering all the little details that actually happened to create the trauma. But it was on a psychological and an emotional level. And so what happens is the child that survives thrives. The child escapes not by yelling back and fighting. They can't do that a lot of times. They get stuck in freeze, right? Because they can't fight back. They can't yell back. They'll get hit. But what also happens is they go inward, and they go into the psychic mind. They go into the spiritual realm. And that's really where your gifts are. Oh, where your gifts are, right? Your spiritual gifts. Your spiritual gifts allow you to cleanse yourself because you're able to see things from a higher perception. You are able to actually shape shift this situation because you didn't do what this person thought that you were going to do. You showed them a different version of you, which I feel like inevitably made this person trust you because, again, they know what they do. So I'm feeling like, during that time, you were like, I'm not going to stick around for like abusive behavior. I'm going to put the energy into myself. And you did. And that's where you found your magic. That's where, again, you develop your gifts. By the way, that's the only way that you can really integrate disassociation. Disassociation means detachment. It means that you don't really know what you feel anymore. It's that you don't really realize it. So, like you said, you wind up going in that psychic realm, and that psychic realm is the spiritual realm. It's the intuition, and that's when you are able to really change the energy. So like you said, I feel like you just utilized gifts that you had developed in childhood that you possibly didn't even think were gifts. Really were like, I never thought that my intuition was a gift. I never thought that being able to cleanse myself, and Spirit says, yeah, emotionally soothe yourself, like psychologically protect yourself from, again, other people's trauma, because hurt people tend to hurt people. And so you learn that at a very young age, how to not be, how not to take on other people's negative energy, even though there was detachment and disassociation. Because like I said, we get that from severe trauma. It's like we don't remember parts of it, but remember, where there is disassociation, there's parts of you that you don't even know. It's not all the time wounds, it's gifts, but you don't even remember because it was at such a young age that you wouldn't consider your imagination a gift. You wouldn't consider your intuition a gift. You wouldn't consider these things to go out and play and explore and meet people and connect and be like a child to actually be gifts, but they are. And that is really how you're able to cleanse your energy, by reinventing yourself, by attracting new people into your life, by attracting new opportunities into your life. So of course this person's looking at you like, what the fuck? You were supposed to be hurt and devastated, and you're over there like I can't read anything like off of you, but you look like you're having a like I'm not feeling you at all, and that's terrifying. First of all, because we had a spiritual connection, and second of all, like you move on, like you're having like you should be affected by it, but it's like you're not. It's like you're clean of whatever I did. So again, there this person doesn't have that trauma bond anymore to you, isn't like affecting you, because you're like, I'm not going to stick around for this. You poured it into yourself, and then you look good doing it, because that's why I said, oh wow, look, gifts, gifts, cleansing, and your magic are all pretty much the same thing. And that's why I'm saying, like, it wasn't all bad stuff. And yes, we did pull like disassociation, but I have to say, disassociation makes you very psychic. Why? Because you're not feeling your own emotions. You don't have a feeling one way or the other about it. If you're watching it, someone else, you're able to look at things from all different perceptions. So you were able to look at things from all different perceptions, even though this person was showing you one thing, you were able to see the entire thing. And that, again, showed this person exactly who you are. So I always like to end the reading off by saying, what's the other energy that we can pull in? And then I'll read your comments. Didn't have time to read them while this was going on. Being true. Obviously, it's always about being true to you. Remember, the kingdom of heaven's inside of you. If you can imagine it, you can create it. But you gotta love yourself. I am true to myself and others. I remove my mask and stop creating illusions. That's what this person needed to do. I have confidence in who I am, and I reveal the good in me. I do not need to hide or prove anything. I replace shame with the power of love and truth. So again, you might have had the spiritual block, like again, at one time, if you were disassociated from trauma psychologically and emotionally, well, you would have been taught to, you need to be someone that you're not. And so you're like, no, I learned a long time ago, I need to be true to myself and be happy with myself. And that's the only way that I'm ever going to get really what I want. I feel like you being true to yourself made this person trust you. Like I said, they know that they only give breadcrumb. They know what they do. So if you're going to sit there and go along with it, it almost like justifies why this person's a jerk to begin with, because they don't really look to be in I feel like serious relationships. Like they're not comfortable in this relationship. They want it to be over at this point, and like either like let it move forward or let it be over at this point, because I can't deal with thinking about it anymore. They're stuck. They're literally stuck. That doesn't happen to this person. Trust me. It's again that they can't just surrender their ego. They shouldn't be stuck. It's like, but the fact that your life is good and the fact that you don't really care what they're doing is really what's making this person get very uncomfortable, because they know, well, you know what, you're moving on. And so inevitably they are going to wind up coming to you. It's just the way that they come to you, I'm not really happy about. But Their way is, again, they're on a low vibration. I'm going to get an answer out of you one way or the other. I'm going to create some bullshit. It's stupid. But this is the deal when you're dealing with someone on a low vibration. So if you're someone that's like, no, I need someone to come in and say, this is how I feel. This is what I want. This is, this person's not good with that. You might have to say, hey, listen, if you're coming to me, you better like be straight up and tell them what you want. It's like, because they're not going to know what you want, and they're not going to feel comfortable, even if they did know, to be transparent enough to be able to share, to be emotionally intelligent enough to be able to express it. They can't do it. So you're the one that's going to need to be like, well, if you're coming back into my life and you're really serious that you need to do this, and you would need to, again, hold your boundary. It doesn't mean that they don't want to do it. It means that they don't know how to do it. And people are creatures of habit. So you're going to let this person back in their life. They're, again, people revert back to the way that they're comfortable. So they show that they're going to do it, but you need to be the older one, like the more intelligent one, the one to be like in control of how this person's going to treat you. And possibly because you let people just come into your life and you're like, well, I just let them treat me the way that I want to be treated, but they never treat me the way that I want to be treated. And Spirit says, you don't let people come in they don't know you, that what they're supposed to intuitively, psychically know. Like, well, I just want them to treat me the way that they treat themselves. And Spirit says, do you see how that person treats themselves? They treat themselves like shit. And it's like, and you're going to let them treat you like that? They don't know how to treat you. So it's about you feeling comfortable to ask for what you need. If you grew up disassociated, well, guess what? You grew up probably not being able to express and ask for what you need. So Spirit says, hey, you got to reparent yourself. You got to reparent yourself. So healing doesn't feel good. That's why you're in this situation. You're getting stuck with the IKEA model. You got to put it together yourself. Is it that he ain't coming or she ain't coming or fully assembled? You got to do it yourself. And all those extra pieces that are in the box, well, guess what? They're actually pieces that you need to actually put somewhere, because right now they're fragmented pieces, and that's going to come out in bad behaviorisms. And right now, what we see is a person that does not know how to communicate, and it's going to require patience. So when this person says, oh, we're learning the biggest lesson of all, patience. No, 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 not because this person's taken a long time to come back. It's because they are not emotionally intelligent, but they have feelings for you. So it's almost like taking your kid out and teaching them how to drive, and they don't know how to drive. It's like, and they just think that they're going to do whatever they intuitively think is correct. It's like, it's not going to be correct all the time. So that's how this person navigates their relationships. They're not emotionally intelligent. We see that they have blocks. So that's why Spirit says, no, it's all about you being true to yourself, you being able to ask for what you need, you setting boundaries, you, again, being able to utilize your magic of your higher consciousness, your intuit, your character, to teach this person how they should want to be treated, that they don't need to play all these stupid games because it's very unethical and it's wrong. And for you to show them, to be the catalyst, so to help them raise their vibration. Maybe like, how long am I going to do this shit for? And Spirit says, well, you don't need to do it. You have free will. But chances are, even if you wanted to be with them, it wouldn't last very long, because, again, you'd be like, I'm tired. I don't want to teach this person. It's like, it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. And Spirit says, yes, but you'd leave them in better standing than how you met them. And that's really, sometimes people only come in to people's lives for a day, a season, not all the time, for a lifetime. So again, it's everybody comes into people's life to teach them, to learn the different perceptions. So even if it was just an ant's worth, Spirit says that's what it is. It's like it's helping them to evolve a little bit. And it's karma that you moved on, their fault, because they didn't do what they should have done. So we're going to end that there. So let's see. Does anyone have any questions? Anyone want to know anything? Let's see. I don't have social media other than it's in the house. Well, again, still it comes to your house, wild child. Still, like I said, it doesn't need to be social media. It could be just, friends of friends. It could be, coming to your house. It could be driving by your house. And remember, they're not asking you. So what it is like they're intuitively trying to figure out. Look at this hair. Jesus Christ. It's very humid in Florida. So let's see. She actually admitted that she thinks she has the in that makes me worried about what my sister would have gone through because my parents very controlling, like she's a golden egg. Well, it's true that like when you come from like an environment where your parents are very controlling, it's not uncommon to meet somebody that is very narcissistic and very controlling and identify that with love because the person feels like home and then hate it because the person is so controlling. So, like I said, what works when we're kids a lot of times does not work when we're out of that environment. Whatever you created as survival. So it's not uncommon. And that person would still like, even if they didn't want that, they might have avoidant issues. Either way, it's either one or the other, and to that second chakra imbalance, either they too codependent and have that anxious attachment where I need the emotion, you need to give it to me, or they have the avoidant anxious attachment, which is like they're continually running from you. The moment that like they have to be emotionally show up, they can't do it and they run. So that's usually the dynamic of what two people wind up getting put together. Soulmates come together, twin flames come together, have that attachment style where neither one is correct, where spirit's like neither one is correct. You shouldn't be so needy. You shouldn't be running out the door all the time where you don't feel safe, like someone's going to steal your life, control your life. It's like, so I have to, again, create balance. And that's through unconditional love. And that's through the two different styles where now this attachment style needs to not be so needy. Why? Because there was somebody that likes their space, and vice versa. The person that likes their space needs to be a little bit emotionally intelligent, needs to be a little bit more aware. And so, again, that's how the universe conspires to make us change. We wouldn't do it unless we were attracted, unless it was a spiritual connection. We wouldn't do it. We'd be like, it's too difficult. But it's not too difficult because the focus is on the bedroom. It's on the passion. It's definitely not on the bullshit. And that's why spirit's sneaky. Because spirit's like, I know that you're not guys that don't want to do this, but I'm going to make you do it. And I'm doing it to help you evolve into the best version of yourself. So I'm going to leave that there if no one has any questions. And I asked anyone that's in my coaching program if anyone had any questions about any of the handouts. For those of you that are not in my coaching program, I have an awesome shadow healing coaching program that includes inner child healing, shadow healing, reparenting, and all the healing modalities to heal the effects of trauma. However, I have to say, we've been getting really caught up in the triggers and not really even caught up anywhere else. So, like everybody likes their share time. No, that's a lie. We always do talk about a topic. yeah, you should join the coaching. Coaching is good, and people learn, and they're interactive, and it's it's a way that you can stay consistent for doing it. Thank you, Elmira. Thank you, Bonnie. I mean, who wants to do shadow healing? And things come up every week. So that's why, we talk about the triggers and try to work through them. Thank you, Wild Child. That's how it works. That's how it works in the channel. That when the channel, you wind up asking the questions. A lot of times in readings, when I get a person, like they come to my house, as soon as their ass hits the chair, I start channeling. And the reason why Spirit does that is because people have trust issues, especially with the readings that I do, right? It's again, I'm telling you what you have to do to change. And most people, again, though, we don't want it. We don't want to change. It's especially when we keep reliving the same thing. Like, no, 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 you don't understand. I always show up. I get a person that emotionally never shows up for me. I need them to show up for me. Then Spirit's like, you actually don't. And then it's like, no, 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 I do. And it's like Spirit says, well, if you do this, you actually change the dynamic. And once you don't need for someone to show up for you, you automatically get it. So healing allows you to remove the block so that you can attract and live the experience that you want to live, instead of where you keep reliving the same karmic theme that keeps you in a place of believing that you can't have something that you could actually have. That's why shadow readings are the best, because they help you transcend the limitations of your mind. Tarot cards are great. My friend does awesome tarot readings, very accurate readings, but things change. There's many different realities that play it at one time. And a lot of times, the reading obviously is like a little bit like Russian roulette. You go and you get a reading, and then they tell you something bad, then you're like, oh shit, like makes you feel like crap. When meanwhile, a lot of times you look at your situation through a different perception. Well, hey, now you're able to transcend that situation. Now, does that mean you wind up with the person that you wanted to? Sometimes you actually do. Like in this story, it's like you didn't put up with the shit. You're like, I'm not putting up with this. I see exactly what it is, and I'm not dealing with it. Now it triggered this person's abandonment that you left. Who would have thought? But of course, you're over it now. But nevertheless, it's like, you change the dynamic of the relationship, and that allows you to actually see yourself differently. And that's the whole art of the integration process, where you get to see yourself differently. And then when you transmute, you're taking that negative energy that when you're connected to a karmic, they're pissing you off all the time. It's frustrating. So you're taking all that energy, that fire energy, and you're putting it into something. In this story, the person like put it into themselves. They, found their magic. They revisited aspects of themselves that they didn't even remember they have gifts, and that's a lot of times when we're stuck in the humdrum of the everyday logical, analytical world, we do lose touch with the spiritual elements of ourself. And like that's where in this story, this person's gifts were. So won't want to keep going. Well, the thing is, you don't go through the same process when you actually learn the spiritual lesson, but you have to go through the spiritual lesson in order to fully learn it. You can't just learn it in your mind. You have to. The difference is not that you won't keep going through the situation. You go through the same karmic themes. The difference is there's no more emotional charge. There's no more fear. There's no more expectations. You no longer give it that power that it had over you, which is when you have, like, again, a spiritual block. There's a lot of rumination, there's a lot of anxiety, there's a lot of, wanting to control. There's a lot of that where it stirs up a lot of emotions from the past. The reptilian mind clicks in, puts us in that survival mode where when you've learned something and integrated and already gone through it, it's almost like, oh, here we go again. But you know how to deal with it. But it's like going through the same thing for the 10th time. It's like you eventually don't even give it that power. You already know what it is. So you're like, oh, I already see it. I'm not even going to bother with it. You don't entertain it. That's the difference. You don't have to keep going through the same process if you've learned it. You only are going through the process if you're not learning the lesson. And like I said, once you go through the situation, handle it differently, you get a different outcome. Why would you go back to the same way that you were? Your brain can never go back to the same form that it was before you learned a new concept. It's impossible. So you wouldn't handle it the new way. The whole point of a spiritual block is that you're not seeing the situation from a different way. But the thing is, because we're in the physical form, spirit says you have to integrate it. You're a spiritual being in physical form to learn and to manifest. I need to see that you learned it. So you're going to have to go through it. But you can do something with that energy. So if no one has any questions, I am going to wind it down because I got to put my puppy to sleep. It was running around outside and it was raining, which is why my hair looks crazy. I will. I love my little puppy thing. He's so cute. Love you. Love you guys. Love you too, Bonnie and Wild Child and Omira and Tarot Killer and Angelique and everybody else. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me. Love you guys very much. And I will be on again tomorrow. I'm trying to be more consistent. All right. Check out my other channels. If you're a Scorpio, check out Scorpio. And if you're a Gemini, check out Gemini. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.